U.S. President Barack Obama is set to become the first sitting American president to step on Cuban soil in 88 years, as no other has visited Havana since Calvin Coolidge in 1928. Well, the announcement, which is expected to be made on Thursday in Washington, will come only 2 days after the U.S. and Cuba signed an agreement restoring commercial air traffic between the two countries for the first time in 50 years. Oh Soo-young reports.
President Barack Obama will travel to Cuba in March, the first sitting U.S. head of state to do so in almost 9 decades. Several U.S. officials revealed Wednesday that the president was stopped by Havana as part of a broader trip to Latin America. Obama had mentioned last December that he would very much like to visit Cuba to meet with political dissidents in efforts to broaden the scope for free expression in the country. The trip is expected to cement his diplomatic legacy in normalizing bilateral ties, which were restored in 2014 after 5 decades of animosity rooted in the Cold War. Respective embassies reopened in Washington and Havana last year. Trade and travel restrictions are also being eased after 54 years. The two countries signed a deal this week to resume commercial flights, and the Obama administration approved the construction of the first U.S. factory in Cuban territory. The reported travel plans, however, have sparked criticism from Republican presidential hopefuls Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, who are the only 2 Cuban Americans running for the GOP presidential nomination in 2016. Rubio said in an interview that he wouldn't visit the country as long as the Castros were in power and unless it was a free Cuba. Meanwhile, Cruz called the visit a real mistake, saying Obama has shown weakness and appeasement to the country's enemies. The White House is expected to officially announce the president's travel schedule on Thursday. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.